Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day guys and welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast. We're up to episode 120. Rhodey, it's good to be here with you, mate.
Dizzy, always good to be here talking fishing, and we've got a jam-packed episode.
We do. We've got a lot to get through, and we've got our guest later on today, Adelaide United's newest recruit, Dylan Pierias. Actually, he might not be his newest recruit, but maybe the newest fishing recruit.
He's a recruit anyway, Diz, and I think that season's just about to kick off, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
And
so we look forward to seeing what he can achieve on the football pitch. We know, and we're going to have a great chat with him later about what he can achieve in the fishing department, and it's pretty good for all you South Aussies.
If he's a better soccer player than he is fisherman, he won't be lasting in Australia very long. He'll be playing for
that's right,
Man United or Real Madrid.
That's right. He'll be getting the big call up to the
he's
EPL.
A good fisho.
Good call, Rhodey. Let's get into oranges and lemons because, like you said at the top, it is a jam-packed episode and we've got a fair bit to get through. So open the account for us with your orange.
Dizzy, we went camping up the river last weekend, got the kids into the fishing, which was great fun. There was probably 6 or 8 kids between 2.5 and 5, and my God, they gave the Raider Junior rod a workout.
What'd you go? Did you have 2 Raiders or you took a couple of other rods?
Nah, 1 kid's rod and 2 sort of travel rods, the Squidgy Special and the Shimano Revolution rod with a couple of whiting reels on.
Nice. The Raider would have done well on some of those carp.
Yeah, the Raider didn't actually catch any carp.
Oh, because kids were too occupied with
we had a lure on it with no hooks. And the kids just cast it again and again and again and
that's
again.
right. It's good practice for them.
And then they took in turns to reel in the hundreds of carp.
Well done.
Wouldn't have been hundreds. It would have been 50.
Yeah, that's impressive.
No big ones, though, which we're a bit flat about. And no natives. I thought after that long, you have to pull something else out.
Yeah, what were you using for bait?
Oh, what wasn't I using?
Yeah, you went for everything, didn't
Monster scrub worms.
you? Any yabbies?
Shrimp. Yeah. Didn't bring the Abbey net because I threw out my Opera House nets and never replaced them with pyramids yet.
Yes. Yeah, you did missed the trick on that one.
But worms, corn, shrimp, the whole lot.
Anyway, good stuff. Very good.
What was your orange, mate?
My orange was, I had to work on Saturday, so I missed the camping trip. We do also have a 6-week-old at home, so if we were going, we were planning on coming for the day or I was going to stay for the night, but it didn't work out with commitments down at work. But on Sunday, when I had the day off, I got outside and got into my newly laid lawn and gave it a haircut.
Is that your first haircut?
First haircut.
How's it looking?
I've let it grow for about 6 weeks.
Yep. Buffalo?
And I mean, I don't know. It's sort of varied. I guess I laid it probably not at the start of the growing season. I think in optimal, but it was just a mud pit in the yard and I had to get the lawn down, so it took a little while to establish, but it's looking good now.
But it's taken off. It's growing all right?
Yeah, it's growing now. I've just got to iron out a few of the kinks, you know. There's a few bumps and low bits and
I'm still waiting for my thank you for like saving irrigation and doing all the manual labour.
What, you coming around for the irrigation for all of 20 minutes?
Oh, grow up.
All right, let's move on from this sort of slight deviation into lawn podcasting territory and come back to the lemons. So my lemon, I'll roll it straight in. It was missing camping. I was flat. I was flat to miss it. And you know what also made me pretty flat was coming out of work after 8 hours there on a Saturday, got in my car, flat tire.
Oh, flat. Oh, literally flat.
Literally flat. So flat, I just screw straight through and it just sat there.
Wasn't even a slow leaker. It was a flat.
Because I was hoping it was a slow leaker. I thought this will get me. I had a dinner with the family for Dad's birthday. I was late to that because I had to go out and change the tyre. Flat. It was hot too. All right, ready? What's your lemon?
Dizzy, good camping trip all round. 1 lemon of the trip. Now, what's happening when you got 2 rods, 2 carp on, lots of kids floating around?
There's a fair bit going on.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah.
What are you worried about? What are you worried about? a hook in a kid's finger. Yeah. Also trying to avoid, put the hooks out of the way, put the rods out of the way, keep the kids down one end. Yeah. There was like 12 adults. Were any of them into fishing? No.
Yeah, and you're at the river too. Oh. You've got to have eyes on the water.
Yeah, mate. There was no concern for the fishing rods. The kids would, the parents were just looking after the water safety.
Yeah, good.
Leaving me to manage rods and hooks. Anyway, what happens? The dog eats the cheese.
No.
What is in the cheese? A fishing hook.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. It was a nightmare.
Hook through the tongue. Is that what you're saying?
Through the back of the tongue, bottom of the tongue.
Ouch.
What happens to my hand? I have to stick it in the dog's mouth. The dog's not happy. I'm worried the dog's going to bite me. It is a very well-behaved dog. I'll give them that.
Yeah, a bit of yelping going on.
Bit of yelping. But at the same time, I'm well-behaved, and if you put a fish hook through my mouth, I might bite you.
Yeah, you'd be yelping.
Anyway, pair of pliers, couple of blokes, hook straight out, no worries.
Yeah, a bit of betadine on the area just to...
No, the dog ran away. We thought it was all right.
Fair enough.
Haven't heard any reports since. I think Norm's still kicking.
Yeah, good on you, Norm. I mean, not good on you for eating the hook part, but look, well done for getting through it. And well done for you, your part-time vet.
I was waiting for a bit of veterinary thanks.
Good stuff. Well, juicy little oranges and lemons. Let's get into the merch update because... there's going to be some merch of ours at the Fishing Guru stand at the boat show. Thanks very much to our great friend Dan. He's offered to take over a bit of our merch this year. It's traditionally been with Simon from Savage Tackle. He's, of course, sold the business, so he's not going to be at the boat show in that capacity. I suspect Simon will probably be there having a bit of a look around and showing his face. He's great like that, but... he's not going to be there with Savage Tackle. So Dan steps in. He is going to have, like every year basically, he's going to have an excellent array of gear. And he'll be there and he'll have a bit of our merch, which is going to be very good for anybody in that area.
And we got a little gadget that he's selling coming up as our tackle item of the week, Diz, and it's a bit of a winner. I don't mind it.
Yep, it's good. I love that, Rody. What else have we got for as a bit of an update by way of merch / others bits going on? We still got the Salty Captain code running hot.
Yes, all the gear 15. We've had plenty of people get into that for 15% off all your Salty Captain gear. So get on that one too, guys.
Yeah, it's worthwhile getting onto that because it's a fantastic piece of kit. The Salty Captain definitely makes your wash down a heck of a lot easier. So get around it, whack the discount code in there and treat yourself.
I'm just waiting for you to come around and help me out with the aluminium cleaner.
Yeah, well, we should book that in. A couple of beers, bit of aluminium cleaning. That'd be good.
And Diz, we always have our Shimano photo comp up and running.
Yes,
so make sure you get your entries in for that. We've had a few more good entries. And the other thing I don't know whether you saw, Diz, I shared on our Instagram and Facebook a little graphic I put together of how people can send us in a voice question. You remember we had 3 or 4 voice questions there for a while. They've gone flat. And I think people just don't know how to do it, Diz.
Yeah, we need to revive it. Good
But
shout.
I've done a how-to guide on how you send a voice memo on Instagram or Facebook Messenger. So check that out.
Good stuff. It's not a very commonly used function. In fact, I think it should be used more often.
No, I might start doing it to people.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of merit in it. I mean, look, it doesn't send voice memos, but the old man, Dave, he talks to Siri like it's going out of fashion. I mean, I'm convinced he spends more time editing what he tells Siri. So I might get him into voice memos. It'd save him a hell of a lot of time.
Very good.
Okay, Rody, well, we've got a bit to get through, mate. Let's get into the news.
Rody and Diz have been searching far and wide to bring you the latest news across all fishing in the state, and we'll give you the rundown on what you need to know.
Righto, Rody, as we touched on, mate, I think first news item off the ranks is probably worthwhile talking about the boat show. We just mentioned that Dan's going to have some of our merch there, but give the listeners a few more details about the upcoming boat show.
Dizzy, it is running in, it's next weekend, I believe, Diz, at the showgrounds.
Yep.
The Friday, Saturday and Sunday. There's some big guests. The Barra King, Sam Birch from Birchie's Fishing Tours. He's joined by Mark Lacroix from the West Coast Eagles.
Wow.
Troll So Hard, Flacky's going to get up. Squid Easy, that crew is there again. Actually, Boomer Anchors is back, Diz. We might go and have a yarn to Duncan.
Yeah, we should go and catch up with Duncan. He's a great guy, makes a brilliant anchor. And, fantastic product. That'll be great to have them there.
And Team Just a Girl as well, as always, Diz. So that will be good. We're not getting on stage this year, Diz. We've run our race there, haven't we?
I think we've run our race temporarily. I won't rule it out for the future, but this year just didn't happen for us. We've got a few other things happening.
Probably earned ourselves a year off.
We probably have earned ourselves a year off. But like you said, 25th to the 27th of October, it's going to be a massive event. They do, of course, have a big Kimberley adventure valued at $25,000 for anybody. I'm sure there'll be some entries there at the gate and the likes. So get around it. It's always a good show.
And lots of fishing stations or stalls set up. As we said, the Fishing Guru, there's Troll So Hard Lures, Squid Easy, Regfish SA by the looks are there, Golf Skin Divers, plenty of former guests of the show, Boomer All-Terrain Anchors, well worth checking out.
Absolutely, mate. They're a fantastic anchor. Get around it. All right, Rody, that's very good, mate. What else have we got? So we've got the lobster ban is... The export ban to China is coming to an end towards the end of this year. That's the South Australian government's plan.
Yes, it is the end of the year in time for the Chinese New Year, which I think is early 2025, and that comes after Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and Chinese Premier Li Qiang had a chat on the sidelines of the ASEAN summit in Vietnam.
Very good. We love hearing that news. So we reported last week around the opening of the lobster season, didn't we, Rody? So they'll be out there. You'd think they'll be fishing.
So it's been 4 years, Diz. They haven't been able to export to China, and it was previously worth $700 million a year before Beijing first enforced that ban, which was something to do with the pandemic, COVID.
Yeah.
But good to see it's coming to an end, and that'll be great for all the commercial crayfishers out there.
Very welcome news by that crew. I'll be sure of that. Rody, what else is happening down in that lobster territory at Cape Jaffa? I'm hearing the marina's closed.
Dizzy, I don't know whether you've been following this one, but it's not going well. The council has now confirmed that the whole marina is closed, and they've identified that 98,927 cubic metres of sand is needing to be required to be removed or relocated to allow the marina to reopen. That's a lot.
This is bad news for the southeast.
It does say here the intention to enable reopening of the marina ASAP and before peak season. I don't know about you, but I think peak season's getting closer and closer.
Well, we just had the school holidays. I imagine there would have been some people travel down there, but you're right, peak season's still coming.
So it says here in the interim, the Fawn Trackway has been relayed at Johnston Avenue, Kingston, to enable smaller craft to safely launch. And there's been a lot of...
what's that mean for the Jaffa lobster crew?
Well, I think they've all moved down to Robe. I think someone said there was one boat stuck in the marina that couldn't get out, maybe. And the rest have moved down to Robe is what I hear. There's been a lot of blaming of the council and things like that, saying that it wasn't set up properly in the first place. And I know it has had some issues ongoing. I think the council would say that the development was undertaken by private developers. And the council would also say that a lot of this is to do with storms and weather events and whatever else. But I'm not sure it's... totally surprising, Diz, that marina's never really kicked off, has it?
Well, the Kingston ramp's done too. We've seen that.
Yeah, exactly right.
So it's troubling because then those people are likely pushed down to Robe, and the infrastructure at Robe is good, but it's not probably... It probably can't handle Jaffa, Kingston, Robe in its peak.
No, certainly not, Diz. It's certainly going to...
It's going to come to crunch time.
Cop a real workout, that one, Diz.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Rody. So the only other thing coming out of the news in that part of the world is the four-wheel drive. This was a story that we saw on the Limestone Coast Facebook page. I think, is that right, Rody? There's been a four-wheel drive that's been stuck around those parts.
Yeah, a couple of weekends ago that one was, Diz. And that was, I think it was at the Granites near Kingston.
Okay.
And I don't know, did you see the picture?
I think I did see it, yeah.
It wasn't just stuck, it was underwater.
It was gone.
Those pictures pop up every now and then on Facebook and whatever else at Salt Creek or wherever else, and
it was lapping the roof.
Oh, mate, it was bar slapping the roof. It was under.
Yeah.
So
There was a few waves breaking on its
that thing was an artificial reef. They were lining up for snapper fishing on top of that thing.
They were. Very good, Rody. Moving right along, mate. Kingfish, talk us through it. It's a huge story. This is gaining an enormous amount of traction.
That's kicking off in a big way. There is all sorts of Facebook commentary from all sorts of different directions, some with more qualifications than the others. We are hearing that hopefully there's been some meetings going on in the background and hopefully there is something done about this net fishing commercially for kingfish. Nothing to confirm, Diz, but it does sound like enough fuss has been made that hopefully, fingers crossed, something is done about it very soon, Diz.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I mean, it's hard to did this surface last year or the year before in a significant capacity?
It's been going for a few years now, but it does seem to get bigger and bigger every year.
I was going to say, I feel like this year it's been bigger than it has been in the past.
I reckon it grows every year.
That video that got released really incited a lot of discussion, and I think clearly they've tried to keep things under wraps as much as they possibly can since then.
Yeah, and there's been surveys, remember? Not surveys. What's it called where you all sign your bit of paper? Petitions?
Yeah.
There's been Facebook outcry. There's been all sorts. So
yeah,
we are fingers crossed. There is some. We don't have an update, but fingers crossed there's something in the pipeline. We'll be sure to bring it to you ASAP.
Very good. Thanks for keeping us across that, Brody. The Brim Master competition is always one that we keep a bit of an eye on. What's happening in that regard?
So, Diz, they had their final event, the LXD Sunglasses Championship event of 2024 at the Port River, taken out by Ryan Ottens with a 2.68 kilo fish.
Nice.
And they've also announced, Dizzy, the champion BMSA Angler of the Year for 2024 was former guest of the show, Joshua Bland.
Ah, nice. He does very well.
He's the science man at Wreckfish.
Yes, he does very well. We had a good chat with him about the cod enclosures.
Runner-up was Paul Cook, and big brim of the year was Dylan Pace with a 1.14 kilo catch at Nelson.
Nice. Love that.
And I also did see as well, Diz, Joshua Bland and Gibbsy are heading over to the Hobie Fishing Australian Championships. I think that might actually be this weekend.
Oh, nice.
And I think it's in New South Wales. It's actually Camden Haven is the location in New South Wales.
Nice.
So hopefully those guys can go over there and represent South Australia in a big way, Diz. And I'm reading here, Josh has said, I've never fished for yellowfin bream before, and with no official pre-fish, things could get rocky. But he knows what he's on about.
Yeah, he knows what he's into, mate. He'll be fine. We back him in entirely. Rody, a bit of an update for all those that use the West Beach boat ramp. There is a closure coming up. Wreckfish has been posting this on their socials. It is, of course, the Sunday coming up, I believe, the 20th. So there'll be a 2-hour closure. There's a triathlon happening down at West Beach. You don't happen to be partaking in it?
No, I'm not really a triathlon type.
Fair enough. Me neither. No surprises there, but it'll be closed for a couple of hours. Barcoo Road will be closed between 8:15 and 10, and that is for the cycle leg.
Perfect, Diz. We'll probably wear that one for a couple of hours, unlike that sailing event. They wanted to shut it for weeks and weeks.
I must say, when I sort of first read West Beach boat ramp closure, I sort of sent a bit of a shiver down my spine about it being closed for a very lengthy period of time. But
I've actually been talking up doing a little West Beach mission, just so you know, but I'm not sure it's going to be this weekend. But I thought it's time to take the raccoons out on the boat again.
Yeah, good call.
Maybe
good
do some squidding.
Yes, yeah, we'll get to where the squid are at later in the report. Righto, Brody, what else have we got?
Diz, there is currently a survey ran by Reservoirs South Australia. They've shared it, so it's part of SA Water. It's shared on the Reservoirs South Australia Facebook page, and they're planning a new revegetation program and trail extension at the Hope Valley Reservoir Reserve, and they're after some community input on what this should involve. Obviously, this is not specific to fishing, Diz, but I've seen this shared a number of times now, and different fishos in the community urging people to go on and jump on the, you know, at the end of those surveys, they have a any more comments sort of section.
Yeah.
They're urging people to jump on that and say, open it to wreck fishing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's been a push for a long time.
Yeah.
We've had a number of people talk about that over the years, Diz, that should be the next reservoir they open to fishing.
Yep.
So that is where people are urging you to jump on that survey. It is linked on the Reservoirs South Australia Facebook page, and let them know what you think.
Good stuff. Love that, Rhodey. All right, mate, we've got one more little news item. Well, I shouldn't say little. It's quite a great story, this one, actually. But the offshoot of the Port Lincoln Tackle World is permanently staying at Port Augusta.
Well, it says will become permanent if we can find store staff.
Yeah, so I think there was a bit of a call out their Facebook page, or they had a Facebook page for the pop-up store, and they were hunting for staff.
And I think it was just going to run for like this peak period.
I think so. I mean, they obviously get an influx of people there when the kingies start going through. So, yeah, I guess it's just one of those things that if they can find the right people and they get enough support, then you'd think they'll just look at the feasibility of keeping it going. What we do know is the family, the Hodgins family, do a great job at running a beautiful Tackle World store.
They do, Diz, and we'd love to see them make Port Augusta a regular part of programming over there. So if you are living in that area and you want to get involved, hit up Shane and Alicia and let them know you're keen. Send your resume through, Diz.
Good call.
Maybe that could be our next expedition for a couple of months.
Yeah, what sort of says those looking for a career change?
We could do a year or two.
Yeah, maybe.
The girls wouldn't miss us, would they?
Nah, that'd be fine. That'd be fine. Nice one, Rhodey. That rounds out the news, mate. Like we said, jam-packed, plenty to get through. I thought that was good.
That was absolutely jam-packed. That feels like we fitted 3 episodes into one.
Yeah, good shout. All right, Rhodey, let's get into the tackle item of the week.
Now it's time for Rhodey and Diz to really show you what it means to have all the gear with a lot of idea as they review a tackle item of the week.
Dizzy, this is one that you can go in and pick up at the boat show next weekend. It is from our good friend Dan Way, the fishing guru. It is none other than the PVC jetty rod holder.
Oh, how good.
This is simple, but very, very effective. I don't know whether you've seen these, Diz. So Dan's been handcrafting these. So they're made out of a bit of PVC pipe, 40 mil PVC pipe. It fits most, but not all jetty rails. It fits those standard size jetty rails. And you clip it on to the railing. You push it over it and it sort of clips on. And it's got sort of 2 raised, what do you call them, Diz? Raised barbs, raised lips that keep your fishing rod sitting where you want it to sit. Because there's nothing worse than sitting your rod up against a rail and it falling left, it falling right. You're worried it's going to, fall over when you catch something. This solves all those issues, Diz.
Yeah, I love this.
In the wind, very handy.
Yeah, and I think there's not some of those jetty fishermen and women. They really battle the elements.
They do, Diz. And did you see some of those photos from Port Noarlunga jetty the other day?
Yeah, well, when they get the wild weather, that's when they come over
of
the
them
reef.
The other day.
Yeah.
So when it's like that, you need this little bit of PVC equipment, the rod holder, to keep your rod standing upright. Makes it easy. You can see the bites. You can see what's happening to your rod. It's just a no-brainer, Diz. And they're a bargain price too, $3.50.
Yeah.
Highway robbery.
Yeah.
I would have paid double that, Dan.
Well, definitely. I mean, you got to get down there and see Dan at the show, and you're going to get 3 for $9 if you're interested.
Oh, and that's probably perfect because if you go out with you and Ned go out, probably 3 rods is about right for you two.
Yeah, you're probably going to have at least 3 rods out, I reckon, for a couple of people fishing.
Yeah.
So, no, that's very good. We love that. That's just one of the specials you can expect to see from Dan down at the show. He's got squid jags, 3 for $18, metal lures, 3 for $12. There's a whole stack of stuff going on down there with the fishing guru at the boat show. So we look forward to seeing his great success at the boat show.
Beautiful, Diz. That's a great tackle item.
Well done, guys. Let's move on now because we are going to have a chat, like we said at the top of the show, with Adelaide United's newest recruit.
Now it's time to get our guest on the line. We'll ask them the all-important 5 questions, then chat all things fishing in SA.
All right, Dizzy, we are very happy to be joined by Dylan Pierias, Adelaide United's newest recruit and South Australia's newest gun fisherman.
Dylan, welcome to the show, mate. How you going?
Yeah, not too bad. Yourself? Thanks for having me, guys.
Mate, it's good to have you on the show. You've been tagging us and we've been seeing some of the fish you've been catching, mate. It's a fantastic start to your campaign of being in South Australia, and we're very much looking forward to having a chat with you a little bit after we get through these questions on all the fishing you've been doing in our wonderful state since you've been here. But before we get into that chat, Dylan, let's ask the 5 questions of you that we do for all of our guests. So to start with, mate, tell us about your best fish.
Well, I would have to say my best fish would definitely be the 110 Mulloway I recently caught in the Onk.
Wow.
I'd have to say for sure that's the best due to the amount of hours I put into that fish. But I have to mention probably I caught a nice 95 centimetre mac tuna off the rocks in Sydney.
Oh,
that's also a
fair effort off the rocks.
Yeah, close contention, but I think the hours I put in for that Mulloway was almost insane.
Now, we're going to chat about the Mulloway a bit more, but tell us about the tuna off the rocks. Is that pretty rare over there?
No, you do get them. You do get, especially around Sydney, you do get the mac tuna, which is a species of, obviously, the tuna species. But, it was just, I was off the Leap, it's called, which is pretty close to the city of Sydney, I'd say about 30 minutes. And I was fishing with my dad, which was pretty special. He come up from Melbourne for a week and he said, let's go fishing. And we ended up fishing like legit from sunrise to sunset that day. So a full session on the rocks. And we actually had a bit of a nightmare. We forgot our bait to catch the live bait. So somehow we ended up catching one live bait and then sacrificed him to use as bait to catch more liveys. So it was a bit of a chaotic day. Got absolutely nothing. I was jigging off the rocks too and throwing stick baits and stuff. And then it came to about 5:30, 6 o'clock as the sun was going down, and my dad goes, well, this is the last livey. Let's put him out and then we'll go home. 10 minutes later, the rod starts screaming and we caught a nice almost a metre tuna off the rocks, which was pretty special.
Wowee, very good going, Dylan. Well done. Now, you might have already told us, telling us about your 2 land-based missions, but tell us your favourite thing about fishing.
My favourite thing about fishing would have to be, honestly, it's just so much fun to me. And I think everyone out there, they want to do something that's fun and they really love, and I'm just so passionate about it. And no matter what, every time I'm out fishing, I like to think of it, as my last time fishing. I don't regret. I don't take for granted any second that I'm fishing. So it's just that feeling of the anticipation, and yeah, I just love every second of it.
That's a great attitude, mate, and we certainly can relate to that. We have a great time fishing, whether it's, sometimes it's by yourself, just enjoying it. Other times it's obviously with mates and you have some good banter and carry on, and we love that. Dylan, your first fishing memory or what got you into it?
My first fishing memory would have to be with my dad. He's a big fisherman, and he actually runs a boat joint in Melbourne. He sells Haynes Hunter boats and Yamaha motors and stuff. So he's always been in the fishing game, and just early ages of him taking me snapper fishing in Port Phillip Bay in Melbourne and all that stuff. But I would have to mention I've always loved fishing, but I was never really into it until I was in Sydney. And my dad said, instead of doing nothing after training, why don't you go fishing? You're in one of the best states for land-based. And I'm like, okay. Went out and got a rod, and that was it. I never looked back from that moment. And, I've just loved it ever since then.
Very good, Dylan. That's great to hear. Now, tell us about your favourite sort of fishing and why. Is it the land-based that you've told us about, or getting out with your old man back in the day on the boat?
Yeah, I would have to say I I love both, but I think land-based for me is my favourite for sure. It's just something about it. I find it's a lot more challenging. You can't get to certain places. You have to consistently try different spots. You have to explore. I love that side of it too, the active side of walking and seeing different places. And yeah, it's definitely land-based, and definitely I would say probably live baiting is my favourite style of fishing.
Love that, mate. Epic. Now, on all of these trips you've been doing, and while you've been in Sydney and then now in Adelaide, or whether it was when you were younger in Melbourne, what's your funniest fishing story, or tell us about one that got away?
Do you know what? I've got a scary story actually.
Go on then, love it.
To change it up a bit maybe, but I've got a scary story of when I just started rock fishing, and as you know, rock fishing can be very dangerous.
Yeah.
And it was at Avoca Rocks in Central Coast, so about an hour and 10 minutes from Sydney. And, you know, I had my life jacket and all that, and I was looking at the swell, and the swell was a 1.8. And when rock fishing, generally the rule of thumb would probably be anything over a 1.5, you probably shouldn't fish it. But that also depends on the rock platform, and every place is a bit different. And I've never fished Avoca Rocks before. And I remember just, you know, really wanting to go because at Avoca Rocks in Central Coast, you can catch all sorts of things, to tuna, to kingfish, there's even cobia being caught off there. There's a story of a guy that caught a marlin off these rocks too. So I was super, super keen. And yeah, I went to go check, and my dad's always told me, got to be careful. You should always watch for 20 minutes before you go there. The problem was you couldn't really see the rocks that you would fish. You actually had to get on the rocks a little bit to look around the corner to see. And I thought, you know what, I'll go check. And as I was standing there, I was looking, I'm thinking, okay, maybe not today. It looked a bit sketchy. And I thought, okay, no problem. Anyway, as I go to pick up my fishing gear, I literally see like this wave coming straight for me. And I was thinking, oh, this is not good. And I made the decision. I could have ran around the corner to get to safety, but I thought I'm not going to make it. So I ended up just backing myself against the rocks just so I wouldn't fall backwards. And this wave came over, and it was probably about hip waist, maybe a little bit more, and it smashed me right in the hip against the rocks and went over my head. And luckily I didn't fall over, and I had cuts all over my hands, cuts all over the back of my neck, lost the bucket. And waves come in sets of 7. So I knew that. And I remember reading the weather, the waves were 11-second intervals, I think.
Yeah.
And I knew, okay, I've got 11 seconds to
Get
sprint
out
from
of here. Yeah.
Lucky I'm an athlete. And as that wave washed back down off the rocks, I just sprinted around the corner to get to safety. And you know, lucky for me, everything was all right. Had a few cuts and stuff, but that's just a pretty freaky story that happened to me.
Yeah, wow. Well, you can see why rock fishing is so dangerous, can't you? Now, I just want to ask, our mate is actually the physio down at Adelaide United. If we got him to check your GPS data for one of your recent games, would you have ran faster off the rocks or on the soccer field?
100%. I think that is the fastest I've ever ran in my life. And I had those rock cleats on too, but it seemed like I didn't. I just sprinted. Yeah.
Oh, epic, mate. That's brilliant. Well, yes. Look, put it this way. We're glad you're here to tell the tale, mate, and it's probably a timely reminder for all of our listeners out there to do exactly as you say and make sure you check the weather, take all the precautions. It's one of those things, unfortunately, sometimes, and we hear about it in boating as well, you get freak waves and they just happen. Yeah. You need to take every precaution where you can. Thanks for answering those 5 questions, Dylan. Let's talk a bit about your journey, mate. You've mentioned the different places that you've been. As Rhodey said at the top, Adelaide United's newest recruit. Great to have you here. Tell us about your journey, mate. Born in Melbourne, New South Wales, South Australia now. Give us a bit more detail.
Yeah, so I was born in Melbourne, west of Melbourne. Grew up loving football or soccer, as some people call it. And, yeah, it was my dream to just be a professional footballer. And luckily for me, that happened, and I played in Melbourne for a very long time, for Melbourne City for 2-3 years, and then I moved to Western United for another 4 years, and then I finally made the shift to Sydney to play for Western Sydney Wanderers, which was quite cool living in Sydney. The fishing was just unbelievable for land-based. There was just unlimited opportunity from so many different species and so many different places to fish as well. So that was really, really cool. And now I've shifted to my favourite state, South Australia.
Oh, he knows where we're based, doesn't he, Diz? So what have you, give us a bit of a rundown of I know you haven't been here for long and you've done different fishing in the different states. How have you found fishing across, Vic, New South Wales, SA? What have you found as sort of the pros and cons about how we go about it here?
Yeah, I think every state is different. I'll definitely say in Melbourne or Victoria, especially the Melbourne region, you definitely need a boat. I feel like there's very little land-based opportunities in Melbourne, which is a bit of a shame, but still good fishing in Melbourne if you have a boat. You got Port Phillip Bay, which is really good, and you can go outside the heads. And, I went this winter for big bluefin tuna with my dad. We probably drove only 2Ks, 3Ks outside the heads, so that they come in quite close there, which is cool.
Yeah, well, did you get one?
Unfortunately. Nah, we didn't, but my dad went not long ago and got one. So
spewing, you missed that.
Yeah, very spewing. But yeah, so Melbourne is still great, but land-based, like I said, not too great. But then I moved to Sydney, and wow, Sydney is incredible. I didn't have a boat there or anything, but I've seen heaps of videos. There's so many good options if you have a boat, but land-based is just incredible there. Like, you can fish, all the harbour. Caught plenty of kingfish right under the harbour bridge. You can go further down into the Parramatta River. You can get jewfish there, Mulloway, bream, bonito. It's just, it's pretty insane. You've got the Hawkesbury River, you've got Georges River, and then you've got all the rock platforms basically 3 hours down and basically all the way up to Southwest Rocks. There's just so many opportunity to fish off the rocks, and you go a little bit up and you can start catching Spanish mackerel off the rocks, longtail tuna, marlin, cobia, kingfish. It's truly like incredible for land-based Sydney.
Wow, that sounds insane, mate. I'm sure that kingfish underneath the harbour bridge is good, but it can't compare to a mully in the onk.
Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't.
So tell us about fishing now you've moved here. How long have you been here for? You've obviously had a great time on the Mulloway, but what else have you targeted, and how have you sort of gone about finding your feet here in SA?
Yeah, so obviously when I signed my deal for Adelaide United, the first thing I did was get on the internet and type up fishing Adelaide.
And we were the first thing that popped up, surely.
Yeah. That was the first thing that popped up. You listen to these guys for the best fishing advice. But yeah, so that was the first thing I did, and what came up was Port River, West Lakes, the Yonk, the Peninsula, KI, Rapid Bay, all those areas. And I thought, okay, this looks good. And honestly, the land-based fishing here is honestly fantastic. I've listened to a few people and heard things that they might say that the land-based isn't that great here, but I would really disagree. There's a lot of land-based opportunities here, and I absolutely love Adelaide and I love fishing here. And this is the first time I got into Mulloway fishing, to be honest. It's a species I've always wanted to chase, and then when I come here, I'm like, that's going to be my mission. And yeah, it was just a lot of research, a lot of failed sessions of, working out where to get the live bait. I've probably fished the whole of Port River for live bait,
yeah, wow.
North Haven, even a bit of West Beach and even West Lakes. And eventually I worked out the live bait. That was the first key to it. And then that was it. And then I just, went to a few tackle shops, and I listened to the episode with Tom Tasanko,
yeah.
who I've actually is good mates with now. He's an absolute legend of a bloke.
He's a gun,
and,
so he'll put you in the right direction.
well, that's what it was. He was going to sport fishing scene, and I just asked for a few tips. I didn't want to be too nosy and say, "Give me your spots." I know what it's like. I just went in there, got a few tips, and they kind of just put me on the right path, and that was it. That's how I started my kind of fishing / Mulloway journey.
Very good. Well, it sounds like you've achieved more in a few months on the Mulloway scene than plenty of others have in a number of years. So congratulations on that.
Thanks.
What about, Dylan, do any of your teammates fish? Has anyone else caught the bug with you?
There's one guy on my team, Archie Goodwin, who enjoys fishing too. He tags along sometimes, but he's been a bit unlucky every time he's tagged along, which has been a few times we haven't got one, and every time I've gone by myself, I've got one. So I don't know if maybe he's a bad luck charm, but I'm still on the mission to get him a Mulloway.
Nah, leave him at home.
I was going to say, it sounds like you need to just drop Archie from the fishing. Because I tell you what, I wouldn't be fishing with Rhodey after all these years if I didn't catch any with him.
This is my favourite thing about having sports people on. We had Alex Carey on, we've had footballers on, and we just like them to dig a bit of dirt on their mates.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Very good. All right, you've ticked off the Mulloway. I'm sure you'll chase plenty more of them, but is there another big challenge that you want to conquer land-based here in Adelaide?
There's the Kingfish that I want to target next, and you probably have to go a little bit further west to around the York. Is it the York that you go up?
Yeah, the York Peninsula. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a few jetties I've heard that you can catch kingfish off, which I'm keen to do. Also, I've heard there's some kingfish that hang around Rapid Bay.
Yeah.
And Second Valley and all that. So I'd like to give that a shot. But I've recently just went to try catch a kingfish in the Port River, which is extremely, extremely hard. And I've just heard whispers about that. Some people have seen some schools swim in there recently. So that is something I'm going to be trying too.
Very good. Well, good luck. There's it's one thing to find the kingfish in some of these locations, but the next one's to stop them from wrapping you around a pylon or something like that.
Yeah, of course.
All right, mate. Well, that's been very informative. Thanks for sharing all your knowledge that you've picked up very quickly, and I suppose your unique opinion on fishing across the sort of southeast of Australia.
No, thanks, guys. It was good chat.
Brilliant, mate. All the best, and we look forward to seeing what's your next catch, and we'll certainly keep in touch.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys.
Geez, that was good to chat with Dylan. He has just come to South Australia. He's gone, you know what, guys, I can master the fishing over here. Bang.
Yeah, Dizzy's out Mulloway fished us pretty quickly, hasn't he?
Oh, he has. He's done a fantastic job. I'm sure he's put in a few hours, but he sounds like a very experienced land-based operator, and he's gone down there and just said, I'll show you guys how to catch mullies. Step aside.
I'm glad he doesn't have a boat over here because he'd really show us up then.
Yeah, I reckon he would. Good call. All right, Rhodey, let's get into the fishing report.
Rhodey and Diz have been out on the water to bring you the news about where they're biting. Now it's time for the fishing report.
All right, Diz, I can tell you what is biting in the river at Young Husband, and that is 50,000 little carp.
Plenty of them.
Heaps of them, and no big ones.
Yeah, so what was doing the damage on, were they just taking anything?
Taking anything.
Yeah, right.
Cheese, corn, worms, shrimp.
How good.
Norm's tongue.
Because last time we went for, it was basically... I was there really for half a day and a night, and we left the next morning.
Yeah, that was a one-night job last time, wasn't it?
Yeah, because the weather was no good that time. But we probably got, 10?
Yeah, but some of them were bigger too, I reckon.
Yeah, we got a few decent-sized ones. Nothing massive.
Nah.
But some decent-sized ones. But, yeah, you just couldn't get away from them, could you?
Nah, and I was looking at some photos of carp, actually. Before we went, I was showing her what a carp was. And I got some that we got on a houseboat a couple of years ago, and they were stonkers. I can't remember catching those big ones for a little while.
Yeah, we used to get heaps of them in the Torrens.
Oh, yeah,
some
when we were
big ones.
in school, yeah, we did too.
Like some real big ones. But yeah, I mean,
Actually, Gore and High Marsh Island, they talk about getting.
Didn't
really
you get
good
some
ones.
good ones when you went and stayed at that place in Murray Bridge?
Yes, we did too. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I remember seeing a few good ones that time
Yeah,
too.
we got some good ones there.
Yeah, I wonder what it is. I wonder where the big ones hang around. I know
really hit
some
and
of
miss,
them
isn't it?
are in the backwaters.
Some of those backwaters we used to do on those tinny trips where you see the carp
See big ones.
like breaking the surface. That's where they go with bow and arrows and that, don't they?
Yeah, but I suppose it's normal that you'd see the big ones.
Yeah, particularly in those shallow backwaters.
Yeah.
All right, Diz, that's
good.
probably enough talk about baby carp.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what, actually, talking about carp, you do see one of those Victorian fisheries type pages keeps putting things up. Nothing specific, but it's just little mentions of this herpes virus, what we would do if it happened, blah, 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 blah. Still just talking about it a bit in the background, Diz, and it makes me think that maybe that still could be in the pipeline at some point.
Yeah.
So I know that went quiet when COVID kicked off.
Yeah.
But I just know that I think that's got a bit more traction over in Victoria than it does here. But obviously, if they're poisoning them, it's happening here too, Diz.
Yes.
Not poisoning them, but spreading the herpes virus.
Yeah. No, good call. Now, did you see that thresher shark down at Granite's?
Dizzy, that was a very, very impressive catch off the back of Granite Island, I believe, Diz.
Yeah, it was. It was a serious. It was a serious shark. Impressive, though. That big long.
I love the tails,
tail,
don't you?
I know,
Yeah.
how good.
And the post, I think, just said Fluoro Peninsula thresher shark, and I've seen it shared on a few different Facebook pages, Diz, and plenty of people have pointed out that it looks a lot like Granite Island, so that's potentially where that one was.
Yeah. Good call. All right, Brody. So in other news around the fishing report, there is, of course, the Blue Swimmer Crab fishing competition going on at the moment, and there's some good prizes.
Where's that one held again, Diz?
Well, they have it at the Ardrossan Hotel Motel. I think there's another one that's run out of the caravan park, but I don't know whether that goes over a weekend. But I know that there's one going on at the moment at the, like I say, Ardrossan Hotel Motel. There's monthly winners. So first prize, you're looking at a West End esky and stubby holders valued at a couple of $100. Second prize is going to be just the stubby holders and a $30 front bar voucher. And then the third prize every month is just a West End product that's valued at $30. We're thinking hats, towels, a couple of other bits of merch like that. So clearly we've got sponsorship on board here from West End, but good little promotion. Get down there. Blue Swimmer crabs need to be caught in the Ardrossan or surrounding areas and get around it.
And I know the Blue Swimmer Crab was off to a great start to the season, even a couple of months ago or a month or so ago, Diz. But probably from here on is when the season really kicks off.
Yeah.
Sort of once you get in November, December, they're getting going, and then probably January, February is prime time, isn't it?
Yeah, I would have thought so. Although we've had a few weird seasons with some of the Blueies recently, haven't we?
Wasn't a good year last year from memory, was it?
That's right. Okay, good. Now, squid. There's a lot of them about. Heaps of them, Metro. Friend of the show, Clifty, did an absolute number on them. Mind you, he did on the whiting and gar as well.
Mind you, Clifty, he kept telling us how he literally fished when he was running Tackle World. Now he steps back, takes a bit of a back seat, and all he does is smash fish.
Yes, yeah. Yes, Clifty.
No messing around, he's straight into him.
Yeah, no, love that. Yep, so that's very good. Get out there. There's plenty of them around Metro, Yorks, all of your classic locations for squid, so get around them. Ned McHenry's treated himself to a week off, towed the boat over to Yorks. He's been doing the damage on a few different species, done quite well on the nannies, done quite well on the tingers.
And the other one that did well on the nannies was Southern Fishing Charters, Jared.
Yeah, Jared's cleaning up.
There's
some good schoolies too.
Fair few buckets of nannies coming out of that boat.
Yeah, he's obviously got some real productive marks.
And Diz, we should just touch on the barrels. Haven't heard that much, have we?
No, well, I think we talked about last episode or the one before we usually see that second run.
Yeah, haven't really seen it, have we?
I haven't heard of it, no.
I don't know whether the weather was just really bad through sort of September.
Maybe, yeah.
I know Tyson posted that he had hardly been out for quite a while, so whether that was when the big fish were back for a second run or who knows, they still could be coming. I don't know.
Could be. Could be. Anyway, I think it would be not far off Ty starting to think about packing up and getting over here.
It won't be far off a little bit of that who's going to catch the first tuna off the Flurio sort of chat.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I like that. It's a good call.
And the other thing
But that's another one that we've had a few strange seasons.
Yeah, we have. But you think like we've had the Bonnie upwelling and we've had the floods out of the river
Yes.
the last 2 years. So they've probably had reasons why they were weird years. You probably think this is back to normality.
Yeah.
Potentially, who knows?
Yeah.
Fish are weird. They do what they want.
Yes, that's right.
So that will be one to keep an eye on. Who will be the first one to catch a school tuna off Victor or Cape Jarvis or whatever?
Yeah.
The other one to keep an eye on is the Kingfish at Port Augusta and sort of Upper Spencer Gulf.
Yeah.
They've been ticking along for a while,
Yeah.
but haven't really kicked off, have they?
Oh, yeah, it's hard. I mean, I'm getting like a lot of flooding on the social media about the discussion of netting them.
Yeah.
And then I don't know whether that's confused with not seeing a lot of it about people actually getting them over there.
There was a video of quite a few boats trolling around
yeah.
the other day, but
Yeah.
then whether they're getting them or whether they're just trolling them. Certainly there has been some photos of people getting them,
Yeah.
but you haven't heard that constant chat of heaps of fish. So I think they're still not at their best, and we're still waiting for that to come.
Yep, good stuff, Rody. Love that. Well done, mate. Where can the listeners find us? That's been a very good episode.
It's been a busy episode, Diz. A lot to get through. Make sure you're following us, rating us, subscribing to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Music, whatever it's called, wherever you get your podcast from, Diz.
Yeah, you can't miss us, basically.
And make sure you are sharing your photos with us on Facebook and Instagram, and make sure you're sending us through a little voice question.
Yeah, get on the voice memos.
Give us something funny. Give us a funny question.
Good call.
Give us
Throw
a bit of
something curly.
Give us a bit of trivia even.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
I just came up with that on the spot. Do you like it or not?
I don't care. Just send us a voice memo. Tell us how your day was, for goodness sakes.
I think everyone's sick of hearing our voices, so let's get some fresh blood.
Love it. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks to Dylan for coming on, and good luck if you're getting the boat out this week.
Good stuff. Cheers, guys.
Rody and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.